Hi there guys, so Evander Holyfield, boxing's only 4-time heavyweight champion of the world, has given Anthony Joshua some advice and adjustments he must make in order to win the rematch against Andy Ruiz Jr. on December 7th, where he attempts to regain his unified heavyweight world titles. Now, this is what Evander Holyfield had to say that Anthony Joshua must do in preparation for his fight with Andy Ruiz. Of course, he knows he has to make some adjustments. Me, personally, I kind of thought that Ruiz kept cornering him off. So what does he have to do? He has to get somebody who is going to put pressure on him like that. When you are the champ, you have got to get sparring partners that will put you under pressure. There is no point getting sparring partners in who looks at you and think they don't have a chance of beating you. You've got to have a guy who for 3 rounds is going to try and whoop you. And then you have got to have another guy who is going to try and do the same. I had a lot of different sparring partners and I paid them good to try and beat me. And this is the only way you are going to be prepared for that fight. Now, Evander Holyfield is not the only former champion who has said that Anthony Joshua must change the way he spars. David Haye also touched upon this subject. He said that Anthony Joshua often does technical sparring. David Haye explained that when Carlos Takam went in to spar Anthony Joshua, that Anthony Joshua was mostly doing technical spars. Now, we don't know how much of that is true or whether it was just that session that was a technical spar, but ultimately, sparring is integral to the fight itself. Because during sparring, a fighter will have different styles in front of him because no two fighters are the same. So they will do 12 rounds and there will be 4 different sparring partners. And after 3 rounds, a fresh fighter will get in. So that is a completely different style and a different aspect of Andy Ruiz Jr.'s game that certain fighter will be bringing into the ring. Because, as I said, no two fighters are the same. And not one fighter will be able to replicate the style of Andy Ruiz Jr. because Andy Ruiz Jr. is quite unique in himself. So what Anthony Joshua must do is replicate Andy Ruiz Jr.'s style by bringing in different fighters who all possess different parts of Andy Ruiz Jr.'s game. So someone with fast hands, someone with power, someone who brings the pressure. Obviously, Carlos Takam comes to mind, Oscar Rivas comes to mind, and Derek Chisora, who has explained he will be joining up with Anthony Joshua at some stage to help him spar. But those kind of fighters will bring the pressure. Now, while Derek Chisora is not very fast, Carlos Takam is, and Oscar Rivas is as well. And all 3 of them possess reasonable amounts of power. But you can see how those 3 possess different parts of Andy Ruiz Jr.'s game. The power and pressure of Derek Chisora, the speed and movement of Carlos Takam, and the polished boxing ability of Oscar Rivas. Now, I'm not saying that Carlos Takam and Oscar Rivas have been called into camp. I don't think they have been at this stage, but I'm just saying that they would be great additions to Anthony Joshua's sparring, where Anthony Joshua has already been sparring the likes of Tom Little, Albon Pervisage, and Timothy Mottin. So Anthony Joshua is searching for that style of Andy Ruiz Jr., but it's clear he's never going to be able to replicate that style perfectly. That is why he must bring in different sparring partners who each bring different parts of Andy Ruiz Jr.'s game to life in the sparring sessions. So in this case, I am inclined to agree with Evander Holyfield, who has been in Anthony Joshua's position before, challenging for the world titles for a second time. Evander Holyfield done it himself 4 times. So if Evander Holyfield offers you advice, then you better take it because he's been there himself and he knows what he is doing and what he is talking about. But anyway guys, what are your thoughts on Evander Holyfield's advice for Anthony Joshua that he must adjust his sparring to make sure that he is preparing diligently for Andy Ruiz Jr. and make sure sparring replicates the fight itself? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, click the thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. Thanks guys.